Hey everybody, it's Dazzle. I'm here today to react to my first Invisalign video. It has been a year since I started treatment, and so I wanted to look back on where I was about a year ago, give a month. I got a little behind in filming. The month of April slipped by me. April 5th was actually my 1 year anniversary, and it is now the beginning of May. It is May 4th today, and I'm recording this, so better late than never, but we're gonna look back on that video and see what kind of thoughts I have a year later, looking back at me from last year. So let's get going. All right. So I'm just about the most sentimental person. Whoa. I have to stop already. I know we just started, but I have to stop. It is absolutely wild to see my old teeth. Unbelievable. I can't even believe they're the same teeth. It's shocking to me.
You might ever need. So this is a little footage of me saying goodbye to my old teeth the night
I
before.
I'm
and
really
this is me
sentimental.
The next morning, driving into my orthodontic appointment to have my Invisaligners.
Look at how much nicer the weather was a year ago.
This is me right afterwards.
Oh, there they are.
Took a look at things.
There's that. Those rubber bands. Wow, look at that space. Look at that space that I closed. Like, I don't have that space anymore. Like, it is gone. It really, like, it freed up so much space and everything moved. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's just wild.
And then sat down to record a little bit more in depth for you.
So I'm back, oh my gosh. And everything went perfectly. It was a quicker and easier appointment than I anticipated it being. It didn't take... All of the Invisalign appointments have been really quick. As I thought it would be, and it was far less invasive than I thought it would be. I got there and we went through a little bit of just chatting with what was going to happen. She put the orthodontic assistant put like a kind of an appliance into my mouth to pull my cheeks back and somewhere to kind of coax where to put my tongue during the whole procedure. I'm so glad that I've not had to have my my attachments redone too much to them. Like, I've had to have a few put back on when they've fallen off. This one on my front tooth, for whatever reason, always falls off. Always falls off. No, it's this one. This tooth. It always falls off. I don't know why. It just falls off all the time. It breaks off immediately when I have it put on. I'm so glad I haven't had to have this process done very often, because it's unpleasant to have like your tooth like dried and then somebody's like gluing stuff on and then they're like buzzing stuff off, and it's just, I'm glad that my attachments haven't changed too much. It's nice. Oh, it's just wild to see my teeth like that still. And then with a special kind of adhesive or cement, dental cement, stick the little attachments to my teeth that need to go there so that the trays can... I really dislike how plaque and stuff like builds around them, those attachments. That's my least favorite part about having them in my mouth, is that they gather stuff around them. And luckily at a cleaning they take care of that, but yeah, it's gross. And it naturally closed down this side, and this one was extracted in my 20s because it was still there. And yeah, fortunately I had a bunch of extractions done before I almost got orthodontics one time, and so they used a lot of that space that orthodontist had built in my mouth to do this. I have to change that rubber band 3 times a day at pretty much any time I take the tray out. I am still finding rubber bands in my house. I feel like I will for the rest of my life. They get everywhere. adhesive or cement that maybe kind of came up around the edges of it, and cleaned that off with kind of a file. It was like electric, kind of like a nail drill that they use like in manicures.
Yeah, they had to use that when they took the
Really
button
skinny,
off of
and
my
it wasn't even something
tooth
that was sharp enough
that
to hurt
closed
the
it
enamel, but
to
just
take
the
off the
sound of it,
adhesive after they like
sounded
snapped the
like a
button
drill.
off.
So
Yeah, it's not very pleasant. It's not painful,
flat
it's
up when I
just,
heard
it sounds bad.
and felt it go under the tooth, but I mean, it was pretty obvious that it wasn't sharp enough to do anything to my teeth because it didn't feel at all like a dentist drill or anything like that. So it just cleaned up, and she had to do pretty minimal amount of actual cleanup. So she was really.
We're gonna speed me up a little bit.
Make mess in my mouth or anything. The first, let's say, 10 minutes in the trace was probably the most uncomfortable. It felt very tight.
I would say this is still true.
Like having a piece of food or something in between every single one of my teeth. Like I just ate the most.
The first like 10 to 15 minutes when you put in a new tray is the worst.
Oh god. But that sensory overload vanished really fast. And now I would say my teeth feel kind of like when you've just had your teeth clean and all of your teeth and your gums kind of feel kind of alive. You kind of feel like awake and extra kind of
Yeah,
But
that's pretty ever present
the feeling of it.
while they're in the moving
So we'll see with time if that
times.
stays that way.
When you're in a hold pattern between scans, you don't get that feeling, but when they're on the move, you get that feeling.
Like clenched together. I don't care for that feeling. It's not very. It doesn't feel good.
I definitely got over that. I have been clenching and grinding those trays like nobody's business, but what is nice is that I'm not clenching and grinding my own teeth anymore. And I hope that when things are done and my teeth are all lined up and nice, that I don't want to do that anymore. But it is nice, and I do look forward to the fact that I'll be wearing retainers for the rest of my life that will protect my teeth from myself because I'm a clencher and a grinder in my sleep. So I'm glad that they'll always be protected now.
Quite a bit, and that might be because of my propensity towards sucking on my cheeks. So we'll see with time.
I don't do that as much anymore. When I first started, I actually had like suck lines like in my cheeks from where I was sucking on the trays. Like it was creating like ridges inside of my mouth, and I don't have those anymore. So I know that I'm not doing that anymore.
On my cheeks, worse or better over time. I don't know if you can hear, and maybe I'll know when I go back and watch this to edit, if I sound a lot different. I don't feel like I sound a lot different, and
it's not terrible, but I can hear the lisp.
I think it's a lot of times for people it's kind of a head game, and the more they think about it, the weirder they sound. I don't feel like I sound terribly different. I know I look different because these trays are like flushing out this part of my mouth, and it's making my lips kind of sit flatter. It makes my front, it makes my top lip.
I have way more lips now than I ever did, especially my top lip.
I don't know if this is closer to how my face is going to look at the end of treatment, but we'll see, I guess. I'm gonna go through my little bag of goodies that they gave me. This is my little official kit from Invisalign. This little drawstring bag, and it's got.
This was the most worthless thing they gave me. This whole case, like, the case that's inside of it, I use that all the time. The carrying case, that little black guy. The cleaning crystals, take them or leave them. The pollen soaking stuff is just as good.
And then this is my case that I can store my Invisaligners in when I'm eating. So
I do wish I had more of those cases, and I've been too much of a cheapskate to invest in more of them.
I can take my trays out and put these in.
I really should, because I should have one, like, everywhere. But I've just kind of take the one I have, that one, around.
And then they gave me some of these disposable toothbrushes. And
Those have been really good for scrubbing my aligners.
Kind of toothbrushes, so they're very good for cleaning the trays out in the morning and night. This is trays 1 through 14 and trays 15 through 29.
I have a huge collection of all my old trays.
Every single side of this box, otherwise, it's just
I don't know why I've kept them, I just have.
your trays. I'm trying to keep, again, my patient info is
It's
all
the
over
artist in
sometimes
me. I
because
probably
some
think
point
I'm
in
gonna
my
like make some sort of art project with them at the end.
my first few
I made a
weeks
cute
of
thumbnail
trays here,
though
like 2
today.
through 14 of my treatments, and it's cool because the tops and the bottoms are in every tray, and it's really interesting. You can go tray by tray, and you can see the changes, and it's really fun to go all
Those
the way
first
to
couple boxes, you could really see the differences in the trays. Now I have to look at the 3D models on the app to see the changes, but you could see them tray to tray in the beginning. Like, it's hard to put like the first tray in my box and the last tray in my box next to each other and see a difference between the two. But in the beginning, they were like night and day. Every one of them looked different. Oh, there it is. There's my like first round.
Holy crap!
Gosh, no wonder that hurt so much. You can really see it.
Oh my god. I'll put the footage in here now of my orthodontist showing me the animation.
Yeah, this is the same animations you have access to in the clinic plan.
What my complete finished end product is. How we get there, he said, might change over time, but where I'm starting and where I'm thinking, I was able to.
And this was
see a computer model.
the end of this round. It wasn't the end of treatment, because that we have no way of knowing
So far.
what the first. We have no idea what the end of everything is going to look like, because it's ever changing. We have a general idea, but there's going to be like the interproximal like shaving that happens. I could lose a tooth. I could end up needing a crown on a tooth. I could chip a tooth. Things can change in your treatment plan as things go. So there is no way to know exactly what the end is going to look like. The only time we're going to know what the end is going to look like is when we order the last set of trays and we look at the clinic check plan of that order. That is when we'll know what the end is going to look like. For now, we have no idea of knowing.
I think it's, I've tried to film this little ending portion a few times, and I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed. I knew the emotion of it was going to hit me at some point, and it's hitting me now. So, when something has been such a kind of an insecure point for you for a lot of your life, and that's not going to be a thing anymore.
I can always tell when I'm going to start crying on videos because my nose gets red.
I'm going to just kind of hang with these feelings and feel my feelings, and yeah. So that's all for my first appointment video. I will see you next time for many, many more updates, and if future me is watching this, enjoy your new smile. Bye!
I'm gonna have to get that headshot redone. That's my old teeth. Yeah. That was me a year ago. Yeah, it's wild to look back on that and see how far I've come. And I gotta say, I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of what I've been able to dedicate myself to doing. I'm really proud of all the time and effort I've put into this. It's a lot of energy and a lot of dedication and a lot of like getting up and brushing your teeth when you just can't bring yourself to do it again, and you just dig deep and you do it again. You brush your teeth for the 5th time that day because you wanted that bowl ice cream, you know? Like, you just dedicate and you buckle down and you find a way through it and you just stay consistent, and it's boring. It's so boring, but yeah, I stayed the course and the payoff has been awesome. So, yay. I'm so glad that I have decided to share this with the world, as well as kind of track everything and have this beautiful record of this whole process. because it's so cool to be able to look back on something like this and see how far I've come. So thanks so much for watching while we went through my 1 year ago first Invisalign video. And I'll see you next time and in the future for many, many more updates as my journey continues. 1 year down, 2 years to go.